Hi everyone, welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma and today we're meeting in the backyard and we're going to do a middle to end of the month June backyard garden tour. As a reminder, I live on the Oregon coast in a zone 9A. We have a very temperate climate, so I don't think we've hit, well, we had one day early this month that was like maybe 81. But other than that, we've been in the upper 50s, lower 60s for a couple of weeks. So let's just get the camera turned around and I'll show you what's going on in the backyard right now. So in the backyard, we'll start here up on the deck, and you can see our containers are looking pretty fantastic. Look at these Super Beena cashmeres. Aren't they so beautiful? And then this is the yellow Mini Vista. Yes, lovely. We'll just like glance down here. The shade container really hasn't done much except that my row of coleus completely failed between slugs and too much water. They just kind of like turned into mush. But we do have one that survived, and it has a different leaf texture than the other ones, so I wonder if the slugs weren't as inclined to eating it. So yeah, but these containers look fantastic. This one has a different, I can't remember which one that has in it. I didn't leave a tag in this one. But, you know, we did the pink and yellow theme this year. Looks really great. The pond needs to be maintained. We're going to come in here and pull all these plants out and start fresh in the next couple of weeks. So there is a variegated carex, and there are heucheras, and then a Nandina domestica here, and then some ferns. We had a Japanese wisteria in there, and I still see the sticks, but I'm not seeing any leaves, so I don't think it survived. All right, so let's just go this way to the moon garden and then work our way around back to the deck here. This little area is full of native violas, and I have a climbing hydrangea here that got broken, and I'm hoping to save it. It's looking okay. It's been there for like a week, and it's a little bit wilty, but it's looking okay. Native violas, and then we have some saxifraga in here. We'll pop up into the moon garden. The pansy basket is still looking just absolutely beautiful, full of color. The white geraniums have started blooming again, and so have the pink geraniums. I just love that color contrast with the dark foliage. Come back over here. Just still waiting on these snapdragons to bloom. And the Pearly Everlasting is all up and about the height that it'll be for blooming, but it hasn't budded up just yet. Then we have the Supertunia Lovey-Dovey filling in there, and we've got a clematis climbing around. And we've popped these lemon slice super bells here. Is it lemon slice? I think so. Yeah. They've got tons of new growth. So I think now that it's starting to get a little bit warmer, we're going to see a lot more action. The Supertunia Mini Vista White, as well as the White Impatient, look absolutely gorgeous in that pot. And in that pot as well, I did pick up a couple more lemon slice to put in these hanging baskets. They get a little bit of shade, and this week I'm going to be cutting back this twinberry and this Himalayan honeysuckle. So they will be getting, as well as this coyote bush. All these things are getting trimmed back this week. So they'll be getting a little bit more sun than they have been. So I think they'll be okay. The hostas are both up. I don't know if they were up the last time we did a tour, but we have the Blue Moon hosta and the Twilight hosta. And the pumpkin on a stick, it has gotten quite large. It's not blooming yet. It'll bloom in the fall. And then we've got the white double up begonias in there, as well as this Bruala, which is, I'm new to this plant, so it's kind of fun to watch and see what it does. We have this white azalea. It's getting completely swallowed by the ground cover and not really thriving here, so I'm going to be pulling this up and moving it soon. We're going to be doing a lot of transplanting this year. Okay, let's get into the heart of the backyard. Right here at the gate, we have all this creeping Jenny that was in this pot last summer here. And she spilled out and she is rooted in. Actually, I have her in all three of these pots. This fuchsia is definitely suffering from that little pot. I need to get her out of there. And then the crocosmia has all come up. We're waiting for the blooms, but the foliage is there. This is the butterfly garden. This sedum got absolutely massive this year. So we'll definitely be doing some dividing of this plant in the fall. The oregano as well, we're trying to keep it over on this side. And then we've planted some seedlings from the greenhouse, but you know, we planted these up, and they're larkspurs and a cosmos, and then also a painted Indian feather there. I love that the plants look like they're happier here than they were in the greenhouse, so they were kind of limping along. This area also, it's about 5 years old. It has, the soil has sank, and it's time to completely revamp this space, which we'll be doing this fall as well. But the oregano is about to bloom, and the bees absolutely go crazy for it. The rhododendrons are all done blooming, and then you can see our white blush colored, I guess, rose is just going for it for the summer. I need to get in here and do some deadheading. I just absolutely adore this rose. This rose was here when we moved in, so I have no idea what it is, except that it's adorable. All right, so let's go ahead and just get back over here. In both of these pots, we have Escallonia, and we popped in some straw flower. So that's great. The potatoes did fantastic. We're about to harvest these probably later today on this side. And then we'll let this go for another week or two. We also have a pumpkin in there that will be very happy to have some space to grow. And then in this container, we have petunias and coleus and a trailing coleus, and it looks so great. I love this color combination. It's a little more autumn than my pink lemonade theme everywhere else. But this this speaks to me a little bit more personally. We've got this, what is this? I think this is a milkweed. Starting to bloom. We'll know for sure when it's fully open. Arcanas are coming up. They usually bloom late July. We also have our dahlias have come up, and then the Super Tunia lovey-dovey is doing pretty great. The honeysuckle hasn't bloomed yet, which is kind of surprising me. It's also looking a little mad this year. I think maybe we need to cut it back or something. Okay, upon closer inspection, I could see, it'll focus, I can see that the honeysuckle is ready to bloom. You could see their little blooms in there. So I guess it's coming. Oh, here's another one. Okay. Oh, I just needed to get closer or maybe wear glasses. It's actually has a lot of buds all over it. Spencer popped a trailing black-eyed Susan in that tire, and it's looking so fantastic. I love the yellow against the red house. It really pops. This is Spencer's little garden here. He's got a pink bacopa and then these yellow flowers. I always forget what they are. Really cute combo. And then this is a magenta snapdragon that wintered over. We've already harvested it once and they're going to bloom again. We've got some gladiolas coming up here, and then that hosta looks fantastic. We also have a flat of impatiens that's waiting for another project, but we just tucked it in there to protect it. The lamb's ear is about to bloom, and I know a lot of people don't let their lamb's ear bloom, but the bees really love it, and I actually really enjoy their blooms, so I let them bloom in my garden. Across the way here, we've got the raised bed. We've got some poppies in this container. We've got lots of different cut flowers planted in here. We've got hollyhocks and celosia and craspedia. We've got a whole mess of carrots underneath this frame, as well as peas growing on the frame. You could see their little flowers. They'll probably be ready to harvest around the 4th of July. And then we have a bunch of straw flower and more craspedia. What are those things? I always forget. And the tags have worn off, of course. We've got some feverfew. It looks like columbine, but I know that's not what it is. Sea holly. And then we've got some Celine over there. We've got another poppy. We've got California poppies in there that are doing better than any California poppy that I've ever planted. So here's hoping. I still have a row of beets in the back that I can harvest when they get big enough, obviously. And then we've got another little clump of larkspur. In front of the greenhouse, we have more lemon slice in these pots here. And then I've got this huge dahlia coming up on this pot, but apparently I don't have a dahlia in this pot, but I think I did and got eaten. You can see that this is a Super Bell's Pink Lemonade, and it really got eaten. And then this is a, but it's not a Super Tunia, is it? Oh, it is a Super Tunia Giant Pink. And man, are they giant. They are doing great, and I think it's because they have a much thicker and kind of a rough texture versus this Super Bells. Same with this side. This one did a little bit better. It's got some flowers on it, but definitely a thinner And then see these holes? They look like earwig to me, not slug. So we've been treating it with slug and bug, and it's doing a little bit better. Inside of the greenhouse, it's getting better in here. I've got peppers on these pots, and then a random celosia. Look at it, it's blooming. It's really fun. I've got lots of lupin that I still need to get out, and then a couple, like 4 squash that I'm gonna give away. This false maple is loving her life here in the greenhouse, which is really fun. And then I've got this really delicious Tulsi basil. Oh gosh, it smells so good. And then I potted these guys up. These are some random seedlings that I had. This is a Lisianthus, and then these are mystery seeds. And I just wanted to get them out of their little cell packs and see how they do. And then I do have this Early Girl tomato in here. I definitely need to fertilize more. I just took it out of its pot like 3 or 4 days ago. So we'll see how it does, I guess. And let's go ahead and prop this open for the day. It's early in the morning and probably get warm later. Okay, so then underneath the maple tree, we still just have a lot of hellebores. Of course, they're no longer blooming. But I'm going to take this path and squeeze through here. Our raspberries are going absolutely wild. All of this is all raspberry. And it's getting quite exciting. We have lots of buds everywhere. We have garden snacks any moment. And then here we have our sunflower bed. These are the Proven Winner sunflowers, Suncredibles. They have just been going gangbusters. It's really fun to watch. And then these really tall ones, which really sat at like 2 inches forever and ever, they have put on a bunch of height. And these are the Sunflower Steve's Picasso blend, which I'm really excited to see that they are coming up and thriving. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get back on the pathway here. Got more lamb's ear. We planted this chocolate flower. Look how good it looks. It's getting so big back there. Really likes that space, which is good to know because I planted it in a couple other areas and not as tall. So now I know it likes this kind of environment for next year. Geez, look at these raspberry leaves. They're huge. Oh my goodness. Compared to like these ones. Wow. I've got the, oh, what is that? Vine. I can't remember. Cup and saucer vine. And it just keeps putting up more and more tendrils. So hopefully it'll bloom for us earlier than last year. And then we have a squash growing in there and a random nasturtium that's volunteer. We do have a kaffir lily that's blooming right there. And then our buddleia is all up and starting to bud. It has looked a little rough the last couple of years. Keep treating it. But I'm not on top of it as much as I should be. Let's see. It's getting kind of eaten. I have no idea how old this thing is. It's been here since we moved in. Let's see if I get a good view of its trunk. You can see how big the trunk is. Super woody underneath there. So anyways, it always gets several feet above the roof line. It's crazy. Then we've got a lot of Celine already blooming here, and we've got pincushion flower starting to form its bud. We've also got a lot of spit bug in this area. Just kind of gross. Yuck. So I'll come through here and pinch it out or wash it off, or whatever I gotta do. What happens is the bug lays its egg and then forms all this foamy, slimy, it like really acts like a big loogie. It's so gross. And if that spit protects the eggs. So you just come in here and like try to wash it off and pinch it out as much as you can so you have a reduced population in the future. All right, back here we've got some random Shasta daisies that popped up over there in that corner, and we have the white Bidens in that little container looking really cute. And then our antique shades violas look absolutely fantastic. These are the violas that we grew from seed. I'm so happy with them. They're so beautiful. These actually are designed for cut flowers, so you can see how tall they are, like 7 inches or so. They would make a really good cut flower, but just beautiful. And the containers, such happy little faces. Of course, you could see how they're all facing to the sun. And then in this container, I popped a couple of squash. They are trying. There's actually a little squash on there. It's cute. And then we've got this honeysuckle. This one is blooming, so that's cool. Yeah. It smells so good. Oh, I don't want to miss out on telling you, we cut this rhododendron down to the ground, and when it came up this spring, it was still looking pretty bad with rust. You can see these lower leaves. I'll come in here and clean these out so that they don't contaminate the soil, pull the grass and the strawberry away, and put mulch down around it. But definitely cleaner than I have seen this plant in a couple of years. We have been using Captain Jack's on it. And anyways, we used it on this one too because this side of the rhododendron was starting to show effects of black spot and rust, and it looks pretty clean. Okay, so then we have this Buddleia, which has a branch like getting weighed down over here because it didn't get pruned quite right. But then those are, how tall do you think those things are? 15 feet? Look at that.
Yeah. Pretty close.
At least 12.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So we'll have some blooms way up there. Barely look at. Oh look, we've got some strawberries in this strawberry tower. That's fun. Last thing I'll show you up here is just outside this gate. Spencer's been working, but the golden rain tree, and I'll pop a picture up here if I can find it. It's done blooming. It was in bloom at the same time as the Vigilia was in bloom. It looked absolutely beautiful with the bright yellow blooms and the dark magenta flowers. You could see that she is pretty much done now. So the Japanese maple leaf, or Japanese lace leaf maple, is looking good, and this hosta came out beautifully this spring. And then we recently planted this spirea, what is it? Candy corn spirea. It got a little bit scorched where I was storing it, so it's got some scorching, but you can see the new leaf is a little orange, kind of like a candy corn. Just kind of fun. So yeah, I think that is it for the backyard. That is gonna do it for the backyard. Lots going on in the front yard. I will be sharing a front yard garden tour probably next weekend, even though I like to keep them 2 weeks apart. We just kind of got off schedule this time. Especially since there are some really beautiful things happening in the front yard that I don't want you to miss out on. The wall of rhododendrons are in bloom, and some other beautiful things. The daylilies have started blooming. It's just a really fun time of year. Everything's just so cheerful and full of color. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're celebrating your life, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.